a lot of people believe that success is just something you gain and you inherit, and it's just something you take and attract. But success really is a cost game. It's an expense game. You need to
sacrifice something.
I'm not saying it's going to be a walk in the park, and we're not saying it's going to be easy, and we're not saying it's not going to be scary. But 9 out of 10, 9.5 out of 10, there's someone that's done what you want to do.
Success comes at a price. And you got to ask yourself, are you willing to pay the price of success? What are you prepared to give up right now in your life? What are you prepared to sacrifice? What are you prepared to leave yesterday or leaving yesterday so you can now have a better tomorrow?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and people who do not like to identify themselves. We are the Unplug Podcast, and we are on a mission, my friend.
We are indeed. Guys, the mission is 1,000 subscribers. We are on the road. So if you are joining us for the first time and you want to know what we're all about,
we are all about helping you, yes, you, sitting in your toilet on your phone, unplug from societal norms so you can live your best life. To the highest version. Love
that. Guys, today's episode is the cost of success. So today we're going to be breaking it down. What does success mean? What does it maybe look like for me? What does it look like for Freeman? But more importantly, success comes at a cost. And I want to talk today about the sacrifices, which I believe is the cost of success that we've both had to make to get to where we are. And also the sacrifices we're going to have to make to go to the next level.
100%. Well, bro, before we get even into that, what's your sort of textbook definition of success?
Success for me is the pursuit of the life that you want to achieve and actively working towards that every day. In my opinion, if you set yourself goals or objectives and you are actively working towards those every day, in my opinion, you're successful. What about yourself? What's your definition of success?
I think I don't think I can change that. I think that's beautiful. But I think one thing, and we're going to talk about it, is the perception of success is that a lot of people believe that success is just something you gain and you inherit, and it's just something you take and attract. But success really is a cost game. It's an expense game. You need to give up something to be able to attain something greater, right? And I feel like that's what a lot of people forget, that they actually need to be able to give up, and there's going to be an expense or a cost to be successful. And that's what you're going to tackle in on. So just hitting home on that perception that a lot of people forget about.
Yes. And like I said, I think this episode is about the cost of success. And in my opinion, the cost of success is sacrifice. And where I'm going with this is that I believe in order to achieve success, you have to sacrifice something. For example, if you want to be fit and healthy, it might mean you need to sacrifice an hour's sleep so you can get up earlier to go to the gym. But I want to talk about sort of your early sacrifices you had to make to achieve maybe the first level of success, or what you maybe thought was success when you achieved it.
Yeah, I'd probably say for me, I've run quite a few businesses, successful businesses that are like yourself. But I was going to say like my Amazon business, but I think just taking it a bit further back, I'll probably say when I started learning how to cut hair.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, I used to...
top barber hair.
What did I used to do? I was a man of many trades, jack of niche, or whatever it is, or master of nothing, as they say. But I used to learn how to cut hair. So basically this started during lockdown, and everyone's getting stacked, and I was like, okay, cool. I've always had an interest here, let me pick it up. So I went to school and etc. And when I struggled, I was absolute pants, could not cut hair. Like one of my friends, we literally spent 3 hours cutting his hair, bro. 3 hours cutting his hair. Like it was abysmal. I used to pay people £5 to cut their hair, bro. So it was so bad. But then a lot of my friends realized that there were no like Afro-Caribbean barbers in the uni in Portsmouth.
Okay.
So I saw like a little gap in the market. As we talk about market research, I saw a little gap in the market. I was like, cool, let me try to do that. So I started reaching out to students saying, hey, rather than you coming back to London to get your trim and then it expiring by the time you're coming back, let me cut your hair. Then I'll cut this guy. Normally guys, they live together, about 5 of them in a house, and they literally just spread like wildfire. And I was still working on my 9 to 5 on the side, and I was making sometimes £400, £500 in a day.
Oh, wow.
From cutting hair.
So the key question is, my friend, in order to, because that is success, you know, you're doing something you enjoy, you're doing something that you're passionate about, you're making money.
Yeah.
What sacrifices did you have to make to even learn how to barber and then set up a business?
Cool. So firstly, learning how to cut hair. Obviously, I was working 9 to 5, like I mentioned. So I had to do that in the evening. So I went evening schools.
So you gave up your evenings.
So I gave up my evenings. So no late night outs. I wasn't at any motive, any function. I wasn't online playing Fortnite or nothing like that. I gave up my evenings. Then when I actually started learning how to cut hair, I was obviously servicing the uni lifestyle. So it meant doing my 9 to 5 during the day, and literally from 5 p.m. probably up until 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 2 p.m., sorry, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., early hours in the morning, I was cutting everyone getting ready to go out to the motive. And I wasn't going to the motive. You know what I mean?
So you're missing out. So another sacrifice.
So another sacrifice as well. So obviously I didn't go uni, so I didn't get any of that uni experience, didn't go any clubs, any freshers, none of that. So it was a bittersweet kind of moment, because like I'm just cutting this guy up, he's getting fresh to go link all the things, and I'm just like, yeah, thanks, that'll be £20. You know what I mean? But yeah, that was the sacrifice that I took. But because of that, I now have a skill for life.
Yes. And I think from then you trained yourself to learn how to sacrifice, and then saw the benefits of sacrificing. Because I feel like sometimes we want success, we don't understand the sacrifices that need to be, or that we need to sort of give up.
Yeah.
So then we don't develop that sacrifice muscle. Every time we need to sacrifice something to get something better, we've not trained that muscle, so we don't know how to do it, or we don't feel that motivation, or we just don't make the move.
And therefore you're no longer, or aren't going to be successful.
Indeed.
Simply.
Indeed. Yeah, so my first probably real taste of success came with my first business. I used to run a publishing magazine, nightclub magazine, telling people where to go, what to do, etc. And it done quite well. Like, we were in magazines, we won awards, etc., etc. But the sacrifice that I had to make is, just before I set up that business, I had a job opportunity to make very good money at 19, 20 years old. And I sacrificed that guaranteed income, that wage every month, to now setting up a business that was not guaranteed any money. I didn't know where this business was going to go. I didn't know where it was going to take me. But I just felt, you know what? Life is short. This is an opportunity. Who knows where it can take me? And I just feel, in making that decision, it trained me to just
get comfortable.
Not even get, it trained me not to get comfortable. It trained me
get comfortable with sacrificing.
Get comfortable with sacrificing, but also just train the muscle of just just accepting life for what it is, and just going for it. You know.
Question though, obviously, you know, we both run our separate kind of like consulting and shit kind of businesses, and a big thing that I always get people say is, what is the guarantees? Like, what's the guarantee? And obviously, you probably didn't know how successful you're going to be when you set up your first publishing business, right?
Yeah.
So what even allowed you to take that jump? Because like a lot of the times in life, people want reassurance, people want that guarantee, and you had a guaranteed, and it was a good paying 9 to 5 job as well, for context for people as well, right?
At 1920,
a 9 to 5 at 1920 is a good paying job.
Yeah, for real.
So my question is like, how did you sort of like instill that going for an attitude of like, okay, cool, I'm going to take this risk, I'm going to take this gamble, even though I'm not going to go for that guarantee?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people in that situation was like, I've got my 9 to 5 job, I've got everything kind of set, and I don't want to rock the boat because this will rock the boat.
Yeah. I think for me, what helped was I never was really like a career guy. I never set out after leaving sort of school, college. There wasn't a particular career that I wanted. So I wasn't overly excited about it. I felt like if I was doing it, I was doing it just for money. And one of my things that I never want to just do something for money. Like, that's something I kind of promised myself. So whilst I would have made good money, I didn't just want to do it for money. And I wasn't risk adverse. I was always trying things and doing things, and it excited me about doing something different. And also like the unknown. There's an element of me that I like the unknown, because I feel like with the unknown, there's endless possibilities. Like, anything can kind of come of it. And yeah, I wasn't scared. I didn't feel the fear of failure. Maybe because I was young and dumb at the time, but I just thought, why not? Why not? What's the worst that can happen? We always talk about it before, like, I'm not going to die.
Yeah.
If it fails, I can just go and get a job.
Literally.
But I don't want to look back at my life and think, I wish I did try. And I'm so glad that I did do the business, because it just trained my mind to like look at life like there's more to life than accepting what life is giving you, i.e. the 9-to-5 job. And again, not that there's anything wrong with it, but it's not for everybody. And it definitely showed me it wasn't for me.
No, I like that.
And I just want to kind of throw out to you, you run, you know, quite a few successful businesses now. What sacrifices have you had to make to achieve the level of success that you have now?
A lot, obviously, security. I had a really, really good paying job. A lot of people, when they leave their job, like their businesses are quite well off and etc. So I left my job with no savings, no nothing. But even going back a bit further than that, it took just absorbing and learning and just like rinsing all my resources, my time, my money. I didn't go out. Like I told you, but the first time I left the country myself was when I was 23 years old. The first time I ever went to a club was when I was 21 years old. You know what I mean? Like, fun wasn't in my vocab.
Okay, so you gave up the fun element.
Fun was...
How does one give up the fun element at such a young age? Because, you know, without, not even stereotyping, but generally they say when you're in your 20s, that's when you have your fun. And what made you want to give up fun?
Because I knew the life I wanted to have. I wanted to... Like, I've never really, even probably to date, like, had the aspiration of I want to be a millionaire. My goal in life is to be... my goal in life is to be absolutely free, not ever have to worry about money. My family are good. I live in a very nice place. I drive a nice car, and that's it. Like, I've never really aspired to be million. Obviously, if the millions come, if the billions come, happy flipping days. I ain't complaining. You know what I mean? So for me, it's like, cool, I'm not there yet, and that's the type of life I want to live. And for me to get there in an efficient time, right? I know you can't rush greatness, but for me to get there in an efficient time, I know clubbing, going out, playing games, doing things that aren't necessarily going to add value or in harmony with that goal aren't going to do me any favors. So I know immediately I had to cut that out.
That's quite a mature mentality for someone to have at such a young age. Like, how did you develop that mindset and mentality? Because that's not normal in their 20s.
I think it has a bit to, like, when we sort of first come to this country. So obviously when I came to this country, obviously, like, we were like in between like the housing, we were in the housing system as well. And I just, again, obviously, you know, they say comparison is a thief of joy. But I feel like when sort of coming here, I saw how everyone else had it and I didn't have it. And there was obviously a big thing of like information. They obviously knew something that I didn't. I don't ever think it's an opportunity thing. I always think it's an information thing. You know, if you want to become a millionaire and you only make 100K a year, you don't know 900,000 pounds worth of information. Otherwise, if you did, you would be a millionaire.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's why for me, I was like, okay, cool. Like, I need to be able to understand that. And I also understood that those successful people are a minority. Right? So I understood that for me to be part of that minority, I need to go against the grain. I need to be like even just like on the way here, my friends saying like, yo, bro, like we want to go out like later this evening to get something to eat. Like, I was like, bro, I got work to do, bro. Like, you know, he's like, but bro, come on, you're always working. I said, I know. It's what I've got to do. So like, I wasn't afraid to be hated on. I wasn't afraid to be called, you know, like boring or whatever.
The black sheep.
You know what I mean? Because when I pull up, you know what I mean?
And
then when I
show
up, like, you'll know what time it is, and this is what all this grinding was for. But yeah, it was a lot of it was my environment, honestly speaking. Not to say I had like loads of like successful role models growing up, but it's just my environment wasn't the greatest, and I personally wouldn't want that for my kids either. So I think maybe in a long or route way to answer your question, I feel like it's almost like from my unborn family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not having them to sort of like grow in kind of like the upbringing. Because before I came to this country, bro, I was living in a nice house, semi-detached, own room, everything. Now coming to the UK, bro, me, my mum, my brother were sharing one room, bro. Like it's a massive...
Different. So that was kind of like a wake-up call. I need to get my stuff together.
You know what I mean? So that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I mean, I think for me, just in terms of where I've had to get to now, and I always talk about sacrifice, because I've realized, and a lot of people have this mindset and mentality that success is something that you chase and you go after, but I've learned that success is not something you chase. Success is something that you attract, and you attract it by the type of person that you are. And in order for you to change who you are or go to the next level, you can't be the person you are today. So there's certain things that you're going to have to sacrifice or put to one side to allow you to focus on being the person who you need to be to attract the success. So that could look like, you know, no more, or giving up an hour in the evening of Netflix to now sort of learn something. And I think the moment I adapted that mentality, I had to give up binge watching TV and watching films. And we've spoken about it before with our addictions. I had a gambling addiction. I had to stop gambling. I had a woman addiction. I had to stop like womanizing. There's some big sacrifices that I knew and I had to change within myself to attract success or be the person that success is attracted to. And I think the moment that light bulb switched on and I looked at my life and thought, is me, you know, linking all these different girls going to help me be successful? No. Is me gambling away all my money that I have going to help me be successful? No. So it needs to stop, you know.
So where did you learn that then?
Soul searching, bro. Like you said, if you want to be successful, you've got to go and study success. And for me, success, now I'm on a lifelong journey to study success and failure. And that meant learning, bro. Like where I was wasting time gambling, linking girls, I was now reading books, listening to podcasts, looking for answers, searching for answers, like wanting to know, how do I get out of this rut that I'm in and now start to work my way towards the life that I want.
But that's powerful. Obviously, I know we normally do at the end, but I kind of even just right here for like a lot of people who are in this sort of rut or cycle and want to make that change. What's like one thing that you did? Like you mentioned reading, like what's something else that you'd probably recommend to the folks?
I think the number one thing, and I say this all the time, I believe it starts with your goal. So you have to set yourself a goal. Don't even think of, you know, loads of goals. Think of one goal that if you achieve that goal would help change your life. And then once you have that one goal, it's almost like you lay a plan. You lay I call it your North Star. So your North Star gives you direction. And once you know the direction you're going, it helps you make better choices and decisions, because every time you go to make a choice, or you make a choice, or you have a decision to make, you ask yourself, if I make that choice or decision, is it going to get me closer to achieving my goal? So, for example, if I know the goal is to, I don't know, let me use fitness and health. If I know the goal is to lose 10 pounds, I'm now not going to be going out to eat or going to the pub or bars every weekend drinking alcohol. So it's easier for me to make a choice and decision to say no, because I know I'm trying to lose weight. If I'm trying to build a successful business or a six-figure business, and I'm spending the majority of my time just watching TV, binging Netflix, just not doing things that are going to get me closer to building that six-figure business, then I know I'm not making the right choices or decisions. So the minute I set some clear goals, life became a bit easier, because the choices became easier. Every choice, is it going to help me move closer? No, well then don't do it. Life is very simple. It's not easy, but it's very simple. Set what you want to achieve in life and just go for it, and just try your best to make the right decisions. It's not easy, but if you don't give up and you keep pushing and you keep pushing, eventually you'll get closer to where you want to be in life, man.
Bro, that's very like prophetic. Profound.
Yes.
What's prophetic? Is that a word?
I don't think it's a word. I know prophetic is a word, but I don't know if prophetic is.
Prophetic like a prophecy, like
possibly.
Maybe.
Ali, bring that one up. Yeah, fact check that.
Check that, please. But you know, I think that, bro, that's very surreal. And do you know what it is? Like anytime I speak to you, bro, it's like, it's just like, bro, it's just knowledge. Do you get what I mean? Like, I just feel like I can tell that you've consumed so much information, bro, and you just like, you got so much knowledge here. So guys, you guys are just getting gems for days.
Guys, there's so much more to come, man. Like, you know, this is episode 66, I believe. Like, we've got so much like knowledge and motivation and inspiration and perspectives. I think a lot of people are here, hopefully, for our perspective. You're going to come here. Information is everywhere. So it's not necessarily just about information. It's about us sharing our views and our perspectives that have allowed us to kind of get to where we are, that we can hopefully share that with everybody. You know, you might be at a place in your life where you want to make that move, you've been procrastinating for a while, but you're just not sure, and you hear something that Freeman says, or you hear something that I say, and you think, actually, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to make that move. And that's all we're trying to do, guys. All we're trying to do is help you go from where you are to where you want to be.
110%. And I feel like adding within that as well, I think, like John mentioned, having your goal brings so much clarity. Like one thing I've been saying, I've been stealing one of your bars. Yeah, you get clarity.
Just make sure you give it back.
Yeah, one of the bars that John always says, you get clarity with movement. You get clarity with movement. And since you said that, that's just absolutely stuck with me. And the analogy that I've added to it, I always say is like, imagine if you're in a fog, right? You're in your car and there's a fog in front of you. You can't see past that fog by moving backwards or standing still. So you need to move forward. Now, I'm not saying run head first because you don't know what's there, but you can creep slowly. And some progress is better than no progress. And that's a big thing that I'm always trying to preach and tell everyone. It's just like, just take that first step. I'm not saying it's going to be a walk in the park. And we're not saying it's going to be easy. And we're not saying it's not going to be scary. But 9.5 out of 10, there's someone that's done what you want to do. You know what I mean? So I always say like imitate as well. I know we're kind of getting into the steps now. So we can probably naturally even touch on that.
Yeah. I think one of the things that have kind of helped me, and I would, put it out to the world, is that when you look at your life and where it is right now and where it's going, if it looks scary, or if life is not the way you want it to be right now, that should hopefully be enough to make you think, damn, I need to change it up. I need to do something different. I need to start that business. I need to get into the gym. I need to start learning. I need to start, working on my mind so I can go to the next level. Because like I alluded to before, what I've learned is that in order to be successful, you have to be a person that success is attracted to. You have to be a person of value. So number one, ask yourself, how can you be of more value to the world? And the minute you become more value to the world, the minute success naturally kind of is drawn into you. So start asking yourself, like, what value can I bring to the world? And if you don't know that, use the time, maybe cut down the TV time and start journaling, start writing down your ideas.
No, I think that's a really, really good start. I think for me, adding on to that, once you understand the value and the service that you can provide to the world, that I always say you can be handsomely rewarded for, is now start to plan. Start to make some steps, some clear, actionable steps. And I feel like where people get lost in the sauce when it comes to steps is they start doing like their 5-year plan, their 2-year. I can't tell you what I'm having to dinner tonight. You know what I mean? So just week by week, working quarters, working 30-day sprints. Simply small actionable steps, right? 1 to 2 things that you want to achieve, and just bite-size them. And again, just the 1% every single bit is going to help you get you to where you need to be, 110%.
Yeah. And on that note, guys, I just want to kind of round it up and just say success comes at a price. And you got to ask yourself, are you willing to pay the price of success? What are you prepared to give up right now in your life? What are you prepared to sacrifice? What are you prepared to leave yesterday or leaving yesterday so you can now have a better tomorrow? So on that note, guys, I want to thank you for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you are liking, make sure you are subscribing, make sure you share, make sure you
tell a friend to tell a friend, tell your mom, tell your dad, tell his mistress. Please
do, man.
That's the one thing he won't sacrifice. But as always, guys, love.
Elevate.